Chicago Fire cast changes 2025. Why two stars are out ahead of season 14. For fans of Chicago Fire, cast shifts are nothing new. But it never gets easier saying goodbye to familiar faces. As the show wraps up season 13, viewers are preparing for two major departures that will leave noticeable gaps in the Firehouse 51 family. The 2025 cast changes on Chicago Fire include the exits of Daniel Keary and Jake Lockett, both of whom have played key roles in the long-running NBC drama. Deadline first reported the news in April 2025, confirming that both actors would leave the series at the end of season 13. As of May 2025, Chicago Fire was renewed for season 14, as it continues to remain a flagship in the One Chicago universe. For fans, the news is bittersweet as they celebrate the new season while saying goodbye to two regular cast members. Chicago Fire cast changes in 2025 include the exits of Daniel Keary and Jake Lockett. Daniel, who plays firefighter Darren Ritter, has been with the series since season 7. He became a series regular in season 8 and has since become one of the more grounded, emotionally steady presences on the show. Darren's character has often served as the moral compass of the group, quiet, capable, and deeply loyal to his team. Jake joined the show in season 11 as firefighter Sam Carver. His character came in with a more complex backstory, adding tension and intrigue to the squad dynamic. After recurring for a season, Jake was promoted to series regular in season 12. He quickly became a recognizable face at Firehouse 51. Both actors are expected to make their final appearances during the closing episodes of season 13. While there have been no official storyline details about how Darren or Sam will exit the series, the departures for both characters are set in final. So Chicago Fire fans shouldn't hold out hope for a reversal on either departure. The exit of these two major characters appears to be a move to allow the show to continue to move forward. The departure of two regulars in a single season is always significant. This is especially true when one of the actors, Daniel, has been a member of the cast for 6 years. His character, Darren, has been closely linked to several major story arcs. Furthermore, his steady presence gave the show a quiet strength. So this is a departure that fans are going to feel. Now, Jake's exit from the series leaves fans with a lot to be desired. His character Sam had only just begun to feel like part of the Firehouse 51 family in season 13. Many fans expected a lot of development from this character in future seasons. So most viewers were more than a little shocked that this was one of the characters being axed as the show moves forward. These exits come at a time when the series itself stood at a transition point. Chicago Fire continues to be one of NBC's most-watched dramas and a pillar of the One Chicago lineup. These cast departures open the door for new characters, fresh conflicts, and a shift in team dynamics. Likewise, Deadline also speculates this decision was made to trim the budget of the series to make it easier to continue to move forward. Chicago Fire has weathered its share of cast changes over the years. The simultaneous loss of two main characters, however, is a difficult pill for fans to swallow. As season 13 comes to an end, fans will be watching closely to see how the series handles sending off these two characters. It was a typical windy morning in Chicago, the kind that seemed to roll off the lake with a sharp whisper of change. But this time, the wind carried more than just early autumn chill. It brought news that would ignite the fandom of Chicago Fire like a backdraft. Two beloved cast members were out, and Firehouse 51 would never be the same. In a surprise announcement that hit social media faster than a 5-alarm fire, NBC confirmed that Kara Kilmer, Sylvie Brett, and Alberto Rosend, Blake Gallo, would not be returning as series regulars for the upcoming season. Whispers had already begun when both actors were noticeably absent from early filming shots, but the official words still hit hard. Fans flooded message boards with memories, speculation, and mourning for what they called the end of an era. Behind the scenes, the decision wasn't sudden. According to showrunner Derek Haas, "We always try to stay true to the characters and allow room for growth, even if that means saying goodbye." But that explanation did little to soothe the sting. At Molly's Bar, the fictional watering hole where Chicago's first responders often found solace, the atmosphere in the script had already begun to shift. Sylvie Brett, the warm-hearted paramedic who arrived in Season 3 and quickly became a fan favorite, was written as taking a job opportunity in Oregon to be closer to her now-fiancé Matt Casey. Her final scene would reportedly feature a quiet farewell with Chief Bowden, full of tears, mutual respect, and one last glance at Ambulance 61. "I don't want to go," Brett's final line read in the leaked draft script. "But it's time I answered the next call." Alberto Rosen's Blake Gallo, on the other hand, would get a more dramatic send-off. His final arc would involve an injury in the line of duty, one that forces him to reevaluate his future. After a tense standoff at a collapsing apartment building, Gallo's heroic rescue would leave him physically okay, but emotionally shaken. In a poignant moment between him and Ritter, Gallo would say, "I jumped into this world headfirst. Maybe now it's time I step back and find out who I am without the fire." On set, emotions were running high. Miranda Ray Mayo, Stella Kidd, reportedly had to take multiple breaks while filming her final scene with Rosen, calling him a brother on and off screen. David Agenberg, Christopher Herman, a veteran of Chicago Fire since day one, delivered a toast during a break in filming. "We've seen people come and go in this house," he said, raising a coffee mug in lieu of the usual beer. "But some leave scorch marks on your heart. Cara, Alberto, this one's for you." Fans weren't just reacting to the exits, they were bracing for what came next. Who would take over Ambulance 61? Would Gallo's departure mean a return of Jana Mackey, or perhaps a brand new face to Firehouse 51? Casting rumors were already swirling like embers. One particularly intriguing leak suggested a crossover edition from Chicago PD, with the potential of Officer Kim Burgess shadowing the paramedics as part of a new trauma unit initiative. Another rumor pointed toward a fresh-faced paramedic named Eden Morales, played by a rising Latinx actress known for her stage work in New York. Morales was described as smart, stubborn, and unafraid to get in Bowden's face when it matters. But change brings more than new characters. It reshapes the family dynamic at the heart of the series. Bowden would be left balancing a team in flux, especially as he wrestles with retirement rumors of his own. Severide, still largely off-screen due to Taylor Kinney's intermittent schedule, would have to anchor Stella through the shifts, even from a distance. "It's a reset," Haas admitted. "Not a reboot, but a recentering. We said goodbye to Shay, to Casey, to Cruz's baby brother. But every goodbye makes room for a new story." And maybe that's what keeps Chicago Fire burning after all these years. Not just the adrenaline of roaring flames and daring rescues, but the heartbeat behind the uniform. Every loss is real. Every new recruit carries weight, and the Firehouse always finds a way to pull together. Back in the writer's room, a whiteboard sat half erased with a single line still visible. "Grief isn't the end. It's the reason we keep showing up." As the new season prepares to premiere this fall, fans are left with a bittersweet mixture of anticipation and nostalgia. They'll tune in to see how Brett says goodbye, how Gallo finds his peace, and how Firehouse 51 carries on, scarred, stronger, and still standing. Outside the real Firehouse Engine 18, where so many exteriors are shot, a small group of fans gathered. One held a sign that read, "We'll miss you, Sylvie." Another wore a custom hoodie with the slogan, "Gall" over it. Chicago is no stranger to rebuilding. And Chicago Fire, in all its emotional, smoke-filled glory, proves once again that it knows how to rise from the ashes.